Today's episode was packed with powerful emotions, shocking realizations, and heartfelt conversations that pushed the story forward in a meaningful way. Rather than focusing on action, the episode concentrated on the emotional consequences of betrayal and the difficult choices that come after the truth is finally exposed. The episode opened with Marjan struggling to process everything that had happened around her. She reflected on how someone she had trusted for years could hide such darkness behind a familiar face. The betrayal felt even more painful because it came from a person she had always considered family. Despite the hurt, Marjan tried to understand what could have driven someone to make such destructive choices. However, not everyone shared her perspective. Ateş was consumed by anger and frustration. From his point of view, there was no excuse for what had happened. He believed that certain actions crossed a line that could never be justified. While Marjan searched for reasons behind the mistakes, Ateş focused on accountability and justice. This conflict between forgiveness and punishment became one of the strongest themes of the episode. Marjan wanted to prevent more damage from being done, while Ateş felt that ignoring the truth would only create more suffering in the future. One of the most emotional scenes came when Ateş finally opened his heart and admitted how guilty he felt. He blamed himself for failing to recognize the warning signs that had been right in front of him all along. Looking back, he realized that there had been moments when the truth could have been discovered much sooner. The regret in his voice made the scene incredibly powerful. Instead of acting like a hero who could solve everything, Ateş appeared broken and disappointed in himself. He struggled with the idea that the people he cared about had suffered while he remained unaware of what was happening around him. Marjan, despite being the victim in many ways, tried to comfort him. She understood that carrying guilt would not change the past. This moment highlighted one of the strongest qualities of her character. Even after everything she had endured, she continued showing compassion toward others. Meanwhile, another major discussion centered around Jamal. The revelation of recent events left many characters questioning whether Jamal had truly betrayed the people closest to him. Some viewed his actions as disloyalty, while others believed the situation was far more complicated. Marjan defended him by suggesting that he had been trapped between his conscience and his emotions. According to her, the choices he made were not motivated by hatred but by inner conflict. This added another layer of complexity to the story because it showed that not every mistake comes from evil intentions. The episode did an excellent job showing how difficult it can be to judge people when emotions become involved. Sometimes individuals make poor decisions not because they want to hurt others, but because they feel trapped between impossible choices. As the story continued, the emotional atmosphere became even stronger. Away from the chaos inside the mansion, Ateş and Marjan shared a quiet moment together. Both of them reflected on the endless storms they had faced throughout their journey. What made this conversation so touching was the fact that neither of them pretended everything was fine. They openly acknowledged the pain, heartbreak, and challenges that continued surrounding their lives. Yet despite everything, they found comfort in one simple truth: they still had each other. This scene reminded viewers why their relationship remains the emotional core of the drama. No matter how many obstacles appear, they continue finding strength in one another. Ateş tried to lighten the mood by talking about happier memories and suggesting future plans. For a brief moment, it felt as though they were trying to reclaim the happiness that had been stolen from them by years of conflict and misunderstandings. But the episode also hinted that peace may not come so easily. Every time one problem seems to disappear, another challenge emerges. The characters themselves are beginning to realize that their struggles may not end anytime soon. The past continues casting a shadow over their present, making it difficult to move forward completely. The tension increased once again when an important conversation was interrupted by new developments. It became clear that certain matters could no longer be postponed. Decisions needed to be made, truths needed to be spoken, and emotions that had been buried for too long were demanding attention. One thing that stood out throughout the episode was the growing maturity of both Ateş and Marjan. Earlier in the story, misunderstandings often pushed them further apart. Now, despite all the pain they have experienced, they seem more willing to listen, understand, and support each other.